Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another box opening, and this one is going to be for the Dragon Ball Evolve Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta. I recently did the unboxing for the Trunks, Super Saiyan Trunks from this set, and I was really impressed with the figure. So I went ahead and took the dive and picked up this one from the set. The other one in this set is also the Son Goku. I don't know, I just call him Goku, but the Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. Don't know if I'll really get that one or not. I'd rather have just a full-blown Ultra Instinct Goku, but we'll see. But this figure looks awesome as it is, and this is probably the one that was making me on the fence most about this set. But having had that Trunks in hand and knowing how awesome it is, it was a no-brainer to grab this bad boy right here. If you haven't, go back in my previous videos and check out the unboxing for the Super Saiyan Trunks. It was a great figure, and I really look forward to getting this out of the package, getting it in hand, and seeing how good it is, and seeing if it lives up to as good as the Trunks was. And there's no accessories with this one necessarily, so I do need to keep that in mind. But of course, I do not mind it at all when it comes to these figures, because that Trunks was badass. So let's go ahead and get him out of the package here. Nice and bubbled up, but no straps or tie downs, which I really appreciate. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to get this thing out of there. Okay, so first off, this thing looks great. The deco on it looks good. I mean, the paint's not perfect, but you know, when you're talking about a $10 figure, you can't have the most, highest of expectations when it comes to the quality of the paint necessarily. This isn't like a McFarlane or a Mattel figure, but I think the biggest sell point on these is that, really you have to treat these kind of like a miniature as far as the paint goes, where essentially you're looking at it as something you see from a distance rather than right up close. Because if you go up close, I mean, you can see, the separation in the paint in a lot of these areas. Which I don't consider a bad thing necessarily. Like I said, if you look at it like a miniature, I mean, really outside of maybe that spot right there, you don't really notice that part, and it's fine. My big selling point with these figures in general is the overall poseability of them, which I think is really great. And this one already feels good. The joints are good and solid. Not too loose, not too tight. I mean, it feels honestly just right, as cliche as that sounds. Rubber goods for the belt here. I'm sure the torso pops off on this one like it did the Trunks. I'm not going to test it because I'm not that hard up for it. You can see, obviously, the shoulder joints and everything in there as well, which I kind of expected, because that's, kind of something that seems to be pretty common with these particular figures and all the points of articulation on them. All the legs seem to feel good, move good, nice and, same with the arms, not too loose, not too tight. Ankles move pretty well also. Excuse me. Now, the only downside with these figures is they do not have peg holes for the feet, which I think if they did, that would make them even more of a solid deal when it comes to that price point, because then it'd make it a hell of a lot easier to pose them however you want to if you had some kind of figure stands. But the face on this looks good. The metallic blue in the air and the hair really pops on this figure. The jacket doesn't really come off. I mean, I'm sure if you pop the arms off on it, you could probably take the vest off, but I've got no desire to do that. This thing doesn't come with any accessories or extra hands. Again, $10 price point, you really got to consider that kind of stuff. But really, like, all the articulation in it is really solid. You have a lot of options for posing this thing inside of your DTOV. Like, you can probably just do like a nice like squat position, and you can really just kind of like kick it back with the hands. I mean, look how much you can just really pose those hands up like that, and you can really just throw them back, get a nice solid. I mean, that right there alone looks fantastic. It's going to look awesome inside the DTOV like that. Standing wise, I mean, these things aren't bad either. You got to take a little more time with it to pose them, but they hold up pretty well as long as you take some time with how you stand them and make sure each joint is just in the proper place. Like, I could probably, if I really wanted to, get this thing to stand up on one leg in this pose. It would take a lot of time to find that perfect position on all the joints, just to make sure the weight distribution was right. Yeah, and I'm not going to do it for this video because you guys will get real tired of watching me try to do it. But yeah, like, just, man, this figure is really great. I mean, you can almost interlock the fingers too. I mean, look at that. That's pretty damn cool. I mean, you could, I guess you could if you really just flex the hands in enough. You can make it look like he's popping his knuckles or something. I mean, man, that's awesome. This is a freaking great looking figure. Man, I honestly, again, like with the trunks, I really got no real complaints about this. This is a very solid figure. Price point's awesome. Figure looks great. Lots of posability. So that way you can kind of just, make them look however you want them to look. And the really nice thing about it too is that you're not having to worry about, hey, am I going to take this Figure Arts figure and destroy it trying to pose it up a certain way or something like that? Because Figure Arts figures, if you know anything about those, they can be pretty pricey. But no, instead you just, you set them up and do it. I mean, hell, honestly, even if like your kids are into playing with Dragon Ball figures, this would be a really cool figure to do that with, and it looks great. I mean, zero complaints about this at all. Really, really like the way this figure looks. If you've been on the fence about these Dragon Ball Evolve figures, don't sleep on them, because now I've got some real FOMO, and I'm going to have to go back and track down like the Golden Frieza and the Jiren and the Ultra Instinct Goku from the previous sets. Because, man, these things are awesome. And it's not like they're rip-offs or knockoffs or anything. I mean, these are licensed by Bandai, so they're legit figures. So, yeah, recommend them. Definitely go check these out. And if you find them, pick one up, man. That price point you can't beat. And if you're a Dragon Ball fan at all, and especially if you like Dragon Ball Super, dude, these things kick ass. I really, really do like them. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up on this video. Thank you for checking it out. Remember to follow me over on Instagram at CollectingRaj. Also, don't forget to give me a follow here on the YouTube by subscribing, and also hit the notification button and check it out whenever I have new videos coming out. I seem to be pumping out new content all the damn time. And also, don't forget to check out my podcast, the Collecting Raj Podcast, which you can find on Google Podcasts, Spotify. I think it might be on Apple Podcasts now. I'm still trying to figure out the distribution on that. But check that out there as well, where I kind of talk all things collecting, including, my purchase for the week, wrestling that week, a little bit of everything in the ramblings of a madman. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for the video. Thank you for checking it out. And as always, have yourselves an awesome week.